Hey there, YouTube. It's Kurt here. Shout out to Triff Gaming for following me on Twitter. I was actually kind of honored. I'm sorry that Farfa makes fun of you so much, but actually, I really like Farfa, and I do like what you have to bring to the community as well. So hopefully, you don't take his memes as too hard. Yeah, but anyway, today I want to talk about Kaiju, and I think Kaiju is one of those group of monsters that's kind of been overlooked in recent formats. And as Doug Zeef put it, the reason why it's not played as much as it potentially could be is because Kaijus are inherently a -1. You give it to your opponent, and that just takes care of one problem monster, but you still have to deal with it and get it off the board. But I want to say I actually believe this is the format for Kaiju to shine. And, well, because now let's look at the meta from this analytical standpoint. All right, so the meta has shifted because we have Nibiru. So combo decks that just poop out all these ridiculous boards that have like 5 negates that you need to take care of, all of a sudden they aren't as relevant anymore. We still have Sky Striker, which is freaking annoying and needs to be hit on the ban list because it's been topping this much for about 2 years now. But anyway, we have control decks like Sky Striker that don't summon that much, and we have Orcust, which also does summon a lot, but isn't that weak to Nibiru and relies on a couple disruptions overall. And aside from that, we have Salamangreat, which can be weak to Kaiju, and then we have Thunder Dragons. Thunder Dragons is actually really weak to Kaiju because your opponent wants to go first, and they will put up, let's see, a Titan and a Colossus. Well, Titan can be the most problematic one, so if you just Kaiju over the Titan, then all of a sudden you're free to do your plays across the board. So that's why, because we aren't in the Danger Guard Dragon or Danger Link format anymore, Kaiju actually fulfills its purpose that it needs to once again. So let's take a look at it in Orcust. Orcust Kaiju has that relevant option of just going over their Link monster. If you go over their Link monster, that will shut off their Crescendo. And the Crescendo is a really, really big deal. And normally, within the Orcust engine, sometimes they will. There is Dragon League Orcust, but I don't think a lot of people are playing that, but whatever. If you shut off that Crescendo, that is actually a really, really big deal. And a lot of times, if they have Dingirsu on the field as well, a lot of times you need to hit their back row, things like that. Kaiju is just kind of the cover-all of removing one problem monster, or if they have Topological Bomber Dragon on the field. If they have Top Bomber on the field, then obviously Kaiju is a very good hit to that, because once you get that off the field, that ruins their main play. And a lot of people are actually turning to actually using Winda, getting Winda on field, and then having Dingirsu protect it, and then you're locked into one summon per turn. But if you have Kaiju, that lets you make your plays once again. That's pretty awesome. Even if you have an Ibli, if you side deck, if you have a Nightmare Mermaid in your extra deck, that's not really a problem. That's what I actually recommend that. And just in case someone gives you Ibli, run Nightmare Mermaid in your extra deck. That's just my personal recommendation. All right, but obviously you see the utility in that. Now let's look at Sky Strikers. Well, Sky Strikers, Kaiju just really, really eats it to Kaiju. Sky Striker really eats it to Kaiju because they don't get the recursion off of their array if you Kaiju them, and it just shuts off their back row completely. Now, yes, you do have to deal with a monster, and that can be problematic depending on what deck you're playing. But for me, so like I'm using my own deck as an example, I play Trains. So because I play Trains, what I want to do is I want to give myself a rank 10 or a level 10. So I would play a combination of Gamma Seal, and I'll play the level 10 Jizukiryu. Jizukiryu will actually give me a rank 10 so I can make rank 10 plays. So if you rely on XC's monsters, then Kaiju can actually be very, very good for you. And another example I have is, like, I also play Kaiju in my Gren Maju deck. And in this particular example, either I play Radian so I can banish it off of Valor of Darkness, or I play a level 8 Dogoran or a Gamma Seal, because those actually work with your trade-in. So I actually think this is a very good format to actually think about bringing Kaiju back into your main deck if you can benefit, especially if you can benefit off of XC plays or the typing or the attribute that the Kaijus can give you. So if you're playing, like, your chance of double drawing, if you're playing like 5 or 6 is too much for me. I like to play 4. But again, if you can benefit off those own monsters and make more plays with them, then it's not the worst idea in the world. Now, again, against the Pendulum matchup, it is kind of bad, but But these are all things just to take into account. All right, so I wanted to bring you other videos as well. This ends my discussion about Kaiju. Hopefully this is really insightful and you aren't too resistant to pulling it out and giving it a try again. Oh, also, if you're playing against True Dracos, you can Kaiju their Inspector Border. Don't forget that. Can be a very, very crucial play. But again, it's just been, when I create videos, I want to create them so that they're informative and that they're very straight to the point, and I feel like a lot of people fight for content, and so I don't want you guys to feel like I'm fighting for content or fighting to create 50 new videos a week that are all just kind of boring and don't say anything that relevant. But not that everybody does that, but I feel like that is a problem. So I thought about doing just a troll video of like a tier list of Yugi tubers. Let me know if you see this video, what YouTubers you'd like to see on that tier list, because there's a lot, but I want to stick to like the top 10 and do a tier list of them. All right, so that's all I got, guys. Peace.